Okay, cool. Let's get going. Okay, so our new section is straight line graphs. Who has done straight line graphs in class already? Let me know. Who has done straight line graphs? Wabo has done straight line graphs. Awesome. Buttercup has. Pumeza has. Nicole has. Tracy has. Oh my goodness, you guys are going to fly through this then. You're going to be little brain buffs. All of you who have already done it, I'm hoping that you'll be able to answer all my questions as we go through today. And if you are brand new to it, then that's also awesome because we will be learning together.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Pretty won't be able to hear me. Okay, but Yulenda, I know you're on that.
Yep, I am.
Okay, so before we jump into the straight line graph, we actually have to understand the Cartesian plane. The Cartesian plane is a very fancy word for what you're seeing over here. Okay, so Cartesian plane has got two really important axes. It's got an x-axis and it's got a y-axis. Okay, so those are called, it's an axis. So it's the x-axis, that's the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. Okay. And the Cartesian plane was brought to us in the maths world by this really slightly creepy looking French dude over here, whose name is René Descartes. I think that's how you say it. I have no French in me, guys. And he's sort of this mathematician who's known for bringing the idea of algebra and geometry together. And he brings it together by using this Cartesian plane. So he was the one who sort of introduced this idea of coordinates. All right. Very creepy looking man. But he looks very French, I think. Anyway. When we use coordinates, we have to do something in a very specific order. So this little diagram over here is just sort of showing you what you do. When you read a coordinate, first of all, your coordinates have to be in brackets, and you always put your x coordinates and then you put your y coordinates. Okay. So if we have a look at this, let's go down here. Let me draw a little dot over here and let's talk about what that would look like. Okay. So let's say I had a dot that was over there. Who thinks they can tell me what's going on with that dot? Who thinks that they can tell me what the coordinates would be there? Musa, I like it, but what's missing? If you're giving me coordinates, what's missing? Okay, Camila, I like that you're saying what the X is and what the Y is. I also like that. Just be careful with the way we write it. Let's see. Promeza, are you going to give me my answer here?
I think, man, like the y-axis is 3 and the x-axis is 3.
Right, that's 100% right. So how would I write that?
So I think you like gonna write 3 over 3.
3 over 3, like a fraction.
Yeah. Or 3/3.
3/3. Still not super happy. Do you want to give me another suggestion?
It's fine, man.
I like that your numbers were 100% right,
Meza.
though. That was great. Okay.
Well done, man.
Nolan Wabo, can you tell me how I'm wanting this to be written?
Ma'am, it's gonna be x3, then y3.
Also, you're saying the right things, but not the way I want it to be written.
I'm confused, ma'am. I'm confused.
Sneaky here. I'm being very, very sneaky. I'm looking for something super, super particular. Let's see. Let's see if Nicole can help us. Nicole, can you help us out here?
Ma'am, I feel like you would say 3 is to 3.
3 is to 3. So like have a colon in the middle.
Yes.
So you're talking it like that.
Yes.
Close, but not quite there. But you're getting closer. We're getting closer, guys. Oh, Pumeza's come back. Let's see here. Hello.
Ma'am, I think it's like 3 to the y-axis, or like 3 to the y-axis, or x to the
Oh, still not what I'm looking for. Still not what I'm
I
looking
Okay,
like
for.
ma'am, can I
Man's
ask?
lady.
Ma'am, can I ask? Is there any words in that answer?
There are no letters in my answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Oh, sorry, I lost you there for a second. Can I get you back? There we
it
are.
3 divided by 3?
Oh, I see something super close. Likona, you are, so Pumeza, Likona has in the chat, she's got somewhere very close. So I'm just going to move on to her. But I love that you knew what your X value was and what your Y value was. You're on the
Well
good
done,
track over there.
Meza.
Yeah, good track. Okay, so far, the person who's closest right now is Likona. There is one thing that's wrong with Likonas. There's one tiny little thing that's wrong. And I know you're going to be like, oh, Miss Godlinton, you are being so rude. You wanting this to be so specific. But the thing is with coordinates, if we're not specific, they won't give us the mark. So I'm being mean now so that you don't ever get in trouble later down the road. Ah, there we go, Lucia. Yes. Okay. We are on the right track now. Awesome. Okay. So when we give coordinates, first of all, they have to be in brackets. Okay. They're always in brackets. Then we always put our X value first. So our X value was 3. Okay. Because if I traveled up, that value is 3. So we're going to put, oh goodness, we're not going to put an X. We're going to put the value 3. Then we're going to put a semicolon. And then we're going to look at our Y value. See, so our Y value is also 3. And we're going to put our Y value. So whenever we give coordinates, we're going to have them in brackets. We're going to have a semicolon. This is always going to be your X value, and that's always going to be your Y value. Okay. Let's try one more like this, and then we're going to do, but we're going to spend some time on coordinates, so don't panic. Okay. I would like you to give me the answer to that dot that I have drawn over there. I would like the coordinates of that dot. Let's see. Okay. Maya, can you tell me the coordinates of that dot?
Ma'am, I think it's brackets -3, 1.
Beautiful. Yes. Nice
Well
job.
done, Maya.
Well done.
Thank you.
That was so great. Okay. So do you see what we're doing here? We have it in brackets. We have our semicolon. We've put our X value, and then we have put our Y value. Okay. Let's see if I can trick you. What's that one over there going to be? I'll put it in a bigger color in case anyone can't see it. What about that one? Like that nice big dot. Yeah, it's much easier. I promise. I'm going to make you love straight line graphs. Oh, okay. We've got 2 different answers. Rita's saying 1. Camila's saying 1. Inkateko. Yes. Can you give me my answer? Hi.
Ma'am, I want to ask you a question. I don't want to answer.
No, ask away.
So, ma'am, is it compulsory to put your x-axis before the y-axis?
Yeah, 100% compulsory. So the first one always has to be your X, and the second one always has to be your Y.
Would I lose marks for that?
You would get it completely wrong.
Sure.
So like if you had written this as 1 and -3, then they would give you no marks.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You are most welcome. Okay, let's see. So I'm actually liking a lot of your answers. The X value here is 0 and the Y value here is 0. But remember, when we have coordinates, we have to have our X value, then we have to have a semicolon, and then we have to have our Y value. So we're going to write it as 0, semicolon, 0. That middle point is we have to give both. So whenever we give coordinates, we have to have an X coordinate and we have to have a Y coordinate. Okay. All right, let's try and play with some and see how we do. And then we're going to try and draw some. Don't worry, we're not going to do all of these. I just want to try a couple here. Okay, so for example, I would look at my X value first. That's 3. Then I would look at my Y value, which is 1. and those would be my coordinates for A. Okay. I would like you to pick a letter. You can choose any letter here and give me an answer in the chat. The only reason I'm saying that is because otherwise I'll have too many people with their hands up at the same time and I won't be able to hear you all. So pick a letter and give me the answer. So for example, if you were giving me the answer for the one that I've just done, you would write A 3 semicolon 1, like that, like I've just put in the chat. So choose a letter, any letter that you feel comfortable with, and give me the coordinates of that letter. So basically you're going to choose whichever one you would like to answer. And we're going to see how many there are. So I'm seeing lots of people are choosing letters, but you got to give me the answers with your letters. Yes,
Yeah,
Maya.
that's what I was about to say.
Maya is on a good track. Okay, there we go. Now we're catching on. You don't have to have the equals. You can just write the letter right next to the bracket. Okay, Maya, I'm loving E so far. That's great. 0 to 100%. Unati. Okay, Unati chose H. Let me zoom back up here. Okay, Unati, be careful with your numbers. So look at H a little bit. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong letter for you. Why did I think H? Oh, because the person underneath you had H. Okay, Unati, -4, -3, 100%. -4, -3. Yes, okay. H, we're sitting on 3, -2. Ndivo, yes, 3, -2. 100% right.
Guys,
Cool.
you're nailing this.
Camila, also H, well done. Okay, we've got 2 people who tried Q over here. So Q was -7 and 5. Oh gosh, -5. I love it. Well done, well done. Tracy and Avile. I feel like I messed up your name quite badly then. I'm sorry, I will do better. Buttercup, we went with M. Okay. Be careful with M, Buttercup. Be careful with what your values are there. Look at where it is on the y-axis. It's a sneaky one. This is a sneaky coordinate. Okay, let's have a look. Lucia is sitting on K over there, -3 and 2. I love it. Great. I can't keep up with your messages. You guys are too fast for me. You're too smart. Too smart. Okay, P we've done. N, -2, -2. Love it. Guteko, well done. P we have done. Nice job, Rita.
Have we done F? Musa said F is 1 and 0.
Beautiful, Musa.
Zero.
Definitely is 1 and 0. You didn't fall for the trick. F was another tricky one, so that was really good. I see an answer for B up here, 1 and 3. That's great, Latabo. Nice job.
Ndivo tried M and he said -6. Ooh, semicolon. You should be careful.
Okay. So we've got -6 and, oh, okay. So Ndivo and Shomo, you guys were so close. So one of you is right, except for something in the middle, and one of you was wrong. So we first have to look at our X value. Our X value is -6 and our Y value is 0. So if I was writing for M, I'm going to write it as M, -6 and 0. Okay, let's have a look. So we still have a few that are outstanding.
Litabo gave us C and she said that it is 6,2.
100% Lataba, nice job. I, be careful, Unati, with I. Oh no, you're looking at L, I see. L, -4 and 4, beautiful. Okay, D, Maya, be careful with your X's and your Y's. My advice over there. D, yeah, Sefsile, yes, well done. Okay, so D is going to be 7 and 0. Remember, your X value has to happen before your Y value. Okay, then we've got
I.
Yes, nice. 4 and -3. Cool, cool, cool. Our last one is J. Oh, and I see someone had J.
They gave J, yeah.
And Tim, that's beautiful. 5 -3. I didn't think we were going to do all of these, guys. and you were just too smart. Nice job. You managed to get them all
done.
right. Woo! Okay, so I want you to have a look at some of the ones that are particularly tricky. So like M, that's a very normal one to make a mistake of. Often we flip them around. So we say 0 and -6. But remember, your X one always has to happen first. D is another one that's tricky like that because we have to look at our X value first. F is a tricky one and E is a tricky one. So just make sure you're being careful with those ones. Oh, guys, I missed one. G, and May have spotted it. 0 and -1. G was also another tricky one. Nice job, Maya. So hopefully with this, we're feeling like quite confident with our coordinates. Can you sort of confirm that for me? Can you let me know, like on a scale of 0 to 10, like when it comes to finding coordinates, where you're feeling with them? Nice, Kira. Superstars. Cool. Because if we don't understand coordinates, we can't do straight line graphs. It's one of these sneaky sneaks. Okay, cool. Nice job, guys. I loved your participation there. You were like, the answers just came flooding in. It was great.
Yeah, you did well, guys.
Oh, and MK's back from holiday. Welcome back, MK. Okay, so when it comes to plotting coordinates, we do exactly the same thing. Basically, we read it, and then we have to write a letter for what we're plotting. So for example, if I'm looking at A, which is -2 and 1, I would say I'd go to my x-axis and go to -2, and I'd go to my y-axis and go to 1, and then I would plot that, and I would write A. Okay. If I was looking at B, that's another one, for example, I would say, okay, my X value is 3 and my Y value is 0. So it's going to be on that line, and I'm going to call that one B. All right. If I was looking at C, don't worry, I'm going to give you a chance to draw just now, don't you panic. What my X value is 0, my Y value is -1. So it would be there. And the last one over here is D. Okay. And so D is saying -2 and -3, which would be that guy over there. And I would write a D. Okay. So now in grade 9, often your teachers are quite nice and they give you a little graph like I've given of you here. But sometimes they don't. And as soon as you get to grade 10, you have to draw it yourself. So I want everyone to get themselves a piece of paper, something to write on. Get yourselves a pencil. I'm being very specific about this. A pencil, if you really don't have a pencil nearby, if you have a pen today, it's fine, but please bring a pencil on Thursday. Get yourselves a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, I always find that the edge of a calculator works quite nicely as a ruler. So make sure you have some kind of ruler with you and a pencil. If you have a checked maths book, that's going to make your life much easier. But if you don't, that's also not a problem. And let's try and draw one ourselves. Okay. So there's a few things that we have to do sort of to make sure that we're doing this correctly. First of all, when we're drawing our Cartesian plane, and we always draw a Cartesian plane in pencil, you're going to want to get your ruler and you're going to want to draw yourself a nice straight long line, which is going to be your x-axis. Okay, and we're going to call it our x-axis. And then we need to create a nice strong line in the middle, which we are going to call our y-axis. Okay, we have just drawn a Cartesian plane. That's as easy as it gets. So once you've got that, you've done your first Cartesian plane. Yeah, half a page will be great. That will be more than enough space. Okay, then we're going to want to kind of break this up a little bit. So in some of the things we do, we're not going to have to write down every coordinate, but for this one, we're going to need quite a few of them. So we're actually going to write it out sort of step by step. So we're going to say, we're going to make little lines over here. And we're going to say, this is 0, 0. Okay. Oh, sorry, Pameza. Yeah, you can absolutely ask a question. Can you pop your hand up for me and then I'll unmute you? Okay, as soon as I see your hand, I promise I'll unmute. Okay.
Pumeza.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah. How can I help?
So, man, what if like the coordinates, like the lines are in between? Like, let me say that they are in between 1 and 2, and they say the coordinates are in between. What do you reckon?
So like if it said like 1.5,
Yes, ma'am.
you would literally draw a point in between them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, I'll show you one here as an example. That's a good question. Okay, so what we've got over here is our Cartesian plane. Where we start is 0, 0. So as we move to the right, we go up in ones. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't need to go higher than 5. So you can just go up to 5. And then we go into our negatives on the other side. So we're going to have -1. You're going to try and keep these a similar distance apart. Okay. -2, -3, -4, -5. Mine are nowhere near a similar distance. So please do a better job of this than me because mine are gross. And then we're going to do the same to our y-axis. So we're going to, when we move up, we go up in positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need to go higher than 4. And when we go down, we have -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay. Yeah, MK, I just saw your question and 100% whenever you need to. Okay. All right. So from here, we are now going to try and plot a coordinate. So I'm going to just plot 1, and then I want you guys to try and plot the rest of these, and then we'll go through them at the end and see how you guys did. It'll be quite obvious if you've gotten one wrong because it'll be in the wrong place. Okay. So I'm going to look at A to start. A is telling me that my X value is 3 and my Y value is 1. So I'm going to put a little dot there and I'm going to label it A. Okay, so I would like you on yours that you've drawn to do B, C, D, E, F. And then we will talk about them together and see if we are happy. And after this, we're going to have a brain break.
You guys are doing really well.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
And if you're struggling with something while you're working, just let me know. I'll give you an example. Oh, Pameza, I said I'd give an example of a half. So let's write G over here and say G was, let's say 1.5 and 2. If I was plotting G, I would go 1.5 and 2. So I'd like go in between those two numbers. Okay.
Yeah, let's Hubble on the line for us.
Let's Hubble. How can I help? Let's Hubble. Can we help? Oh, Shaden, I'm glad. Good, good. That's exactly what I want to hear. If we love the beginning, then we love the middle, we love the end. Good, good, good.
That's how it
Yeah.
goes.
Exactly.
You can still put your question on the chat. So
Yeah. Don't you find like, because when you start a new math section, if you don't like it right in the beginning, then your brain is like, oh, I hate this. And you can't you can't get rid of it. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there forever. I still feel that way about financial maths, and it's so sad because financial maths is probably the most useful thing you learn in maths in high school. And I just
I think that at least you can use it for the
you
rest.
can use it. And I just have like a blanket against it. Okay. If anyone is needing more time, can you just let me know, either with an emoji or with a comment? Just let me know. You can send it as a direct
Mia
message.
is done. Mudao is done. Well done, guys. Ntando is done.
Cool.
Okay. Unati.
Let's get going, man. I feel like my little brain boss over here. Okay, so let's do B. So B, we're going to go -2, -3. And if you've gotten B right, I want you to give yourselves a little tick. -2, -3. Give yourselves a tick. Okay. C, 5 and -1. And you're going to make it C, and you're going to give yourselves a tick. D, 0 and 4. So we're going to go 0 on the x-axis and 4 on the y-axis. So it's going to be on the line. Okay, and don't be scared that to have it on the line. I remember I had a student a while ago who used to draw a dot just next to the line because she was worried it couldn't be on the line. It absolutely is allowed to be on the line. Okay, onto the line like that. And you're going to call it D. And you're going to give yourselves a tick. Then we're going to move into, beautiful, well done. We're going to move to E. E is -3 and 0. So X is -3 and Y is 0. And we're going to call that E. And our last one that we are going to plot here is F. And that is -2 and +4. It's going to be up here. And we're going to call it F. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks. How did we do? How did we do out of 5? And remember, always, if you're embarrassed, you always can just send us things by ourselves. But how did it go? Nkateko, tell me, how did it go?
Ma'am, it went fine, eh? But ma'am, okay, wait, I got F right. Ma'am, when I was writing my y-axis, I also included the 5. Ne? So ma'am, what I did, on C, ne?
Okay.
I placed my dot on the y-axis on the number. How can I say this? Okay, ma'am. Up there next to, ma'am, I can't say this. I don't know how to say it. Eh?
You can also show us.
You can show us in your video if that helps.
Okay, ma'am, let me explain it.
Okay.
So, ma'am, I placed my dot next to 5, which the 5 is on the y-axis, and then I made sure that it's like right straight with my -1.
Okay, so now the problem with that is that what you've done is you've flipped these coordinates. You've made that -1 and you've made that 5. You've flipped them around. So if you have yours up here like that, it's in the wrong place. You've put your X value and your Y value in the wrong place.
Oh.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. We got there. We got there. Okay, cool. Brain break time, guys. Let's brain break and then let's try and draw ourselves a graph. For those of you who are new, this is Brian. Brian welcomes us to our brain break moment. Brain breaks have nothing to do with what we are currently doing. It's just a chance to give your brain some space to have some fun and just think of it differently. Okay, we have been working on things called dingbats. So for those of you who weren't here during our holiday classes, dingbats are where you have a picture and you have to figure out what the word is or what the phrase is from the picture. Okay, and you've got 2 this evening to try and figure out. So let's see how you go. One of them is quite tricky and one of them is quite easy. Let's see how. So let's start with our tricky one. Let's see how we go. What am I looking for? This is a phrase. It's not a word, it's a phrase. soon as you have an answer, chuck it in that chat for me. Not road trip. On the road, no. Oh my gosh, Mhlengi, how on earth did you get that so quickly?
Oh wow, I'm thinking I see that answer and I'm like, whoa, that is actually the real answer. Well done.
That's crazy. I thought this was gonna have you like tripped up for ages. MK, hello.
Ma'am, it's like, I don't understand. Like, is the phrase or word written somewhere in the picture and we have to find it?
No, not at all. The word is nowhere in here. You just like, it's basically like, as you see it is what it is.
But like, how is a car linked to victory though?
No, it's okay. Hold on, I'll write the answer and then you'll see. You'll be like, oh my goodness, that makes so much more sense. So the answer for this one, as Mhlengi got a while ago, is, it was so sneaky. The answer was the sky. The sky is the limit. So this is like a limit sign. So like when you're on the road where it says like your speed limit is like 100 or 60 or 120 or whatever, it's your speed limit, and the sky was in the limit. And so the sky is the limit. No. Unati, hello.
Hey, hi, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, ma'am. Ma'am, I only like joined now because I just got back from school.
That's okay.
So, what are we doing?
Well, at the moment we're in our brain break, but what we were doing was we were doing straight line graphs.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Remember that the lesson is recorded, okay?
Yeah.
So if you did miss much or you don't understand, you can always go back and watch.
Precious, I thought it was directions. I love that. Okay, the next one though is super easy, so I think you'll get it nice and quick. Let's see. There we go. I told you it was easy. Too easy.
Yeah, this one was quite easy. Yeah.
This is a World Cup, like a sports World Cup. Nice. Nice job, guys. Cool. Okay, we are now going to try and take our knowledge that we used with coordinates, and we're going to try and put it together with a straight line graph. So we're going to combine those two together. We're going to see how things go. Koketso, can I help? Hello. Hello. You just need to push a button on your side so that you can also unmute. Yeah, I'll come back if we get there. Okay. So one of the first ways we learn how to draw a graph is we use these tables. Okay. And we actually have dealt with a lot of these tables when we did patterns. So those of you who were in our patterns course, you would have seen a lot of these tables. Let's just talk about what that means. Our input is this X value. That's what our input is. Okay. And our output is our Y value. So remember when we did patterns, we had Tn and N. This is the same, except we're using X's and Y's. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to input our X value and we're going to get an output. So for example, if I was looking at this first one, if I was looking at that one over there, okay, I would say my Y value is equal to 2 times -2, because that's my input, minus 1. All right, so that's going to be Y is equal to 2 times -2, which is -4, minus 1, which means Y is equal to -5. And you can do that all on your calculator. Okay, so this answer here would be -5. Yes, exactly. Mathematical relationships, same as patterns, all of that leads into straight line graphs, all the same. Okay, cool. So now that you have got that first one, I'd like you to tell me what the rest of these are, and then we're going to look at how we can incorporate that together, where we're going to go to from there. Okay, so I want you to find out what my next one would be.
Let's do this, my people. You guys are doing great, by the way.
So well.
Likona is already answering.
Okay, so Ciliano, all you're going to do is you're going to take the next number. So like, yeah, let me use a different color. Here, I've got my X values 2 times, because we're using this pattern over here, times -1 minus 1. So 2 times -1 is -2, -3. Okay, so we're taking our X values, we're inputting them into a formula, and we are getting a Y value. Nice. Okay, so keep going. See if you can get the rest of these ones done. Oh, it's great. I love it when we end up doing the same thing you were doing in class. It all just fits together nicely. Gives your brain like a nice little piece of help as well. Maya, hi. How can I help?
Maya, can you please click the button
To unmute?
to unmute?
Okay.
There we go. Hi.
Hi, ma'am. I'm finding it difficult to answer because I feel like you're gonna get me confused with my answers. I just wanted to
Just say it out loud.
Yes, please.
That's fine. You can absolutely say it out loud. So what would be
So,
your answer for when X is
the
0?
input of 0 is gonna be equals to -1. The output, sorry.
Beautiful. Great. Do you want to tell me the output of when X is 1?
Okay. It's going to be +1.
Yes. Nice job, Maya. Awesome. Nice work. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, let's see if Nolon Wabo can help us out with some. Hi.
Hi, Nolo. You can talk now. I think you did unmute.
Oh, we managed to hear from you earlier, but now we can't hear you. I think it might be a headphone issue. Okay. I'm gonna have to mute you, sweetheart. But I just unmuted as it was sound. That was so frustrating. Okay, Nolan Wabo, I'm trying again. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay. Do you want to tell us our answer for when our input is 2?
Our answer is going to be 3.
Beautiful. And when our input is 3?
It's going to be 5.
Beautiful. Nice job. Thank you. Nice work.
Thank you.
Okay, so what we land up with this table, right? And what we've actually got is we've got ourselves a set of coordinates. So over here, this is saying that when X is -2, Y is -5. This is saying when X is -1, Y is -3. Here, when X is 0, Y is -1. When X is 1, Y is 1. When X is 2, Y is 3. When X is 3, Y is 5. So all we've done is we found ourselves a whole bunch of coordinates. And now we're going to plot them. Okay, so I want you to try and draw yourselves a quick little Cartesian plane. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to want to have your numbers sort of similar to mine. So where it goes up to 5 and -5 on the y-axis and -4 and 4 on the x-axis. So Tracy, sometimes they can come without the rule. So specifically like when you're having to learn patterns and you have to figure out what the rule is, sometimes they may come without the rule. But for the most part, when you're doing straight line graphs, they already come with that equation. And we just have to use it in different ways. So we're going to learn how we can kind of mix that equation up in all the best ways. Okay, so draw yourself a little Cartesian plane. And then I want you to see if you can try and plot those points that we've just found. And grab the ruler and see if you don't get a beautiful straight line, then one of your coordinates is off. So it'll be a nice way to double check that you are on the right path. Nkateko, how can I help?
Ma'am, the first one says -2 semicolon -5. But ma'am, you said we should end. Oh, sorry, ma'am.
No problem. Okay, just going to give you a couple of minutes to give this a try on your side, and then I'll draw it up on the board, and then we'll talk about a couple of things that we can notice and we can see.
We can do this, my people.
You will be
Good
fine.
question.
Pumeza, can I help?
So, ma'am, do we like answer the question like?
At the moment, the only way to answer this question is just you're plotting these coordinates and you're going to connect them together to create a straight line.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Let's have a look here. Unati, hi, can I help?
Ma'am, do we add our own -5s? Because I don't see one here.
You won't need a -5 for the x values.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Most of the time, someone has an issue with connection because of load shedding. So if it's your day where your connection's not great, just remember you can always watch this. It's recorded, so you can give it a watch, see how you go, and you will be fine. Nkateko, hi. No? Hello? Okay. Hand like disappeared and then it popped back up again. Let's try again. There we go. Hi.
Ma'am, I'm feeling a bit confident. Can I answer? Ma'am, I can't hear you.
think the only thing it would for you to tell me where to draw it. But on your picture, do you have a beautiful straight line
No.
when you connect your dots?
Yes.
Then
yes.
you are right. So you can feel confident and enjoy your confidence.
Well done, Kateko.
Guys, the lovely thing with straight line graphs is if you've got a straight line, you know you've done it right. Okay, so let's try and work through this. So my first point was -2 and -5. So -2 and -5, I'm going to draw myself a dot. Then I've got -1 and -3. I'm going to draw a dot. 0 and -1. I draw a dot. 1 and 1. 2 and 3. And 3 and 5. And what we get, we're going to always use a ruler. I'm not going to use a ruler because it's difficult for a ruler on the screen, but please all use a ruler. We're going to draw a line that's going to connect these together. Geez, that's a weirdly straight line. Maybe I'm developing like a superhuman power here or something. So we're going to draw a nice straight line. Now there's some important things that we're going to do whenever we draw a straight line graph. First of all, we always draw it in pencil. Secondly, we always put an arrow at the top and an arrow at the bottom. So make sure you've got those arrows. And then I want you to think about how sad your life would be if you didn't have a name. Okay, if people didn't know what to call you, if you were just no name brand over there, you need to have a name. And all graphs also have to have a name. And so we give it its name by giving it its equation. So we're going to give it its name. We're going to say y is equal to 2x minus 1. So we're going to have our graph. We're going to have an arrow at the bottom, an arrow at the top, and we give it its name. And that is what our end straight line should look like, which is quite nice and cool, I think.
It's really nice. Please mark your graph, guys. Let's do this.
Who landed up getting this one right? Who has got a beautiful straight line in front of them? Mayor, was his hand up to say yes, or was your hand up to speak? I think it was to say that yours was straight.
Sorry, ma'am. It was a mistake. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. Don't apologize. It's okay. Precious, is this a question before I click on you? I'm gonna try. Precious, hello.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Hello. Sorry, it's mid-T there. How can I help?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, ma'am, I remember that last year when I was doing this, these graphs with the straight lines had a specific name, and then the ones with up and down lines have specific names. What are the names?
So this is called a linear graph, or some people just call it a straight line graph, but it would be linear. I think that's the word that you're looking for.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Yes, it was.
Okay, great. Contour lines, IPK. Sure, we're going into like some crazy worlds over here. Bungu, I feel like your surname is joining on over here.
Yeah, Bongum Sanobaku.
There we go. How can I help? Oh, we can't hear you, sweetheart. I think it might be your headphones. Just try and connect them again for us.
Bongo, if you don't come alright, just remove your earphones. That actually sometimes works.
Okay. So guys, the cool thing with a straight line graph is that wherever there's a coordinate, we can always find its y value. So think about coordinates like a little married couple. So you've got them and they're bound together. Okay. And so wherever there's an X value, there's going to be a Y value. If they hadn't given us, let's say they hadn't given us this 1 and 1, let's say this one didn't exist. Okay. So we hadn't drawn that dot over there. We would have been able to read on our graph to see what those coordinates would have been. So we could have looked at our graph and we could have said, well, there's our straight line. There is my X value. So when X is 1, Y is 1. Okay, and we would be able to check it because we could put an X value into our equation and see what our Y value is. So your equation works together with your coordinates, which works together with your straight line. And this is why the Cartesian plane is the link between algebra and geometry, because this is an equation and an equation is algebra. But what you're seeing is something visual. So you're seeing a visual picture of an equation. So this is a visual picture of a linear equation, which is what we spent a lot of time working on at the end of last term. Okay, we're actually going to stop there tonight.